under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. And we're live at the shop. We're going to drop our silent intro. Eagles is the theme today. And we are broadcasting live from Sky's the Limit, Smoke Shop, 3925 East Olympic Boulevard. I'm going to try and pull up the monitor here. Let's see, I've been doing some things on the iPad. There's the YouTube. And we'll see who comes out to chop it up with us today. Hope you're having a good Thursday. Boom. All right. Got the monitor pulled up. We got Roger Blair in the chat. What's up, Roger? This is going to be the Eagles stream. Yeah. Got word that there's a fundraiser going on to help save the land where the Big Bear Eagles live at. So we're going to talk about that. And here we go. Heads up, my mug's going to show. What up? Here we are. All right, let me jump into the chat. Chiro Sounds. Who's your Squatch? What's going on? Haven't seen you in a while. Bigfoot Forest, Vancouver Island, Squatch Island. What's going on? Good to see you here. Yeah, we're calling this one the Eagle stream. Yeah, we got bro hanging out at the shop today. And we were just talking about the Eagles. We were talking about them yesterday. Y'all know the Eagles. We're going to go ahead and kick it off with that. I think we're in the 70s today. We haven't been pulling up our weather lately. And I do think about it. So here we are. The FOBBV cam. Let's bump it up. There they are. Live feed of the Big Bear Eagles. And so last year I found this, and I think Garrel and them had found the stream also. And then I started streaming it on my channel. And we've seen some new eaglets hatch. One passed away. I think the same thing happened with this round. What do you call it when they lay, when they do their laying? I don't think it's a litter, is it? So yeah, we lost one last year, but we had two, and it was Gizmo. And who remembers the other one? The name of the other one? Gizmo and I was going to say Shadow, but I think that's the dad's name. Jackie's the mom. And what's up, Gerald? Welcome on in, brother. Good to see you. Yeah, so there was this whole thing with the eaglets and the eagles. Everyone was loving. I mean, people were talking about it all over the place. And they're quite famous, if you ask me. And there was the whole story behind Jackie, the mom, being born at this nest, and she came back and had her 2 rounds of eaglets there. And cheers to you, Amanda. Good to see you. Much love to you as well. Thank you for tapping in. And so these 2 new bunch, and I want to say it was a third one too. So she might have laid. Oh, no, hold up. She laid a round. So after the last year's round, she laid a round of 3. And those got ravaged by, I think, ravens. Some blackbirds came through and yeah, it was all bad after that. But she was able to lay 3 more eggs. I want to say 3, and maybe lost one also, and these 2 survived. And they're looking nice and healthy, and their names. So I did look up their names. I'll give you their names in a second. Let me read this to you. It says the new bald eaglets born to parents Jackie and Shadow in Big Bear are officially named Sandy and Luna. That's cool. Sandy, chick one, the eaglet with a large head and neck, was named in honor of late friend of Big Bear Valley executive director Sandy Steers. And right away, that'll get me into that because I did want to bring her up. I did learn about her last year. And we sadly also learned that she had passed away on February 11th, which I thought that was interesting because I was like, oh, second, I was like 211. You got your 1111 there. Mark, I seen your video, brother, on the 1111. He was frustrated about it. Had some words. I thought it was funny. I don't know. I think there's something to it, to these angel numbers. Yeah. We're laughing at Mark's video. Some of you are wondering what Mark? CB Mark. I see you, brother. An interesting video yesterday, by the way. Yeah, so we had learned that Sandy had passed away, and it was earlier this year, and I could pull that up. Let's see. Let me make sure. I'll keep the eaglets streaming, but I'll pull up here we go. Yeah, it says Sandy Steers, the executive director of Friends of Big Bear Valley and driving force behind the Big Bear Bald Eagle Nest Cam, died on the evening of February 11th, 2026. She was 73 years old and had been privately battling cancer for several years, though she continued working until the end. Steers was instrumental in launching the live streaming Eagle Cam in 2015, which brought global attention to the lives of bald eagles, Jackie, and Shadow in Big Bear Valley. As a biologist and former tech company owner, she became a beloved wildlife advocate, appearing frequently in media to educate the public about eagle behavior and conservation efforts. Yeah, and there's some more here. She led Friends of Big Bear Valley for over 20 years, expanding its environmental advocacy and educational programs. Her work extended beyond the eagles, including efforts to protect rare pebble plains and the endangered big bear paintbrush flower. In 2023, she was nominated for Outdoor California of the Year by the Outdoor Writers Association of California. A celebration of life for steers is planned on June 2026. So next month, it sounds like. If I'm correct on my date, what date is it? Let's see. We are on, is it the 14th today? Yep, May 14th, Thursday. And yeah, I thought that was interesting. She made her transition on 211. And also, what up, Moschetti? At first, when we heard, because we did share this during a stream when we got the news, we played a newsreel. And I thought it was just a little odd because they were, fighting for the land then. And then she ended up passing. And I was just like, my mind tends to go certain places sometimes, but it did mention that she was battling the big C. So yeah, wow, that's man, amazing. Sounds like an amazing person, and thank you for everything she did. And I'm sure the Eagles appreciate her flowers as well. What was it? The Big Bear paintbrush flower. I'll have to look that up. I am a flower guy. I love flowers. You and your homie started doing it as a therapeutic practice, says Muschetti. I'm not sure what he's talking about there, but I'm going to tap back into the comments here in a second. Just giving you a little information on Sandy Steers. And so now let's see. So there is I guess you could call it a battle. The battle is on for the land. So it is up for sale. And I believe it's $10 million that they're asking for. And I had seen a newsreel where there was a school up in Danville, California, up in the Bay Area. And they were actually using the Eagle live streams to educate the kids. Elementary school. And let's plug in our computer here. 1 second. And I seen that newsreel just the other day. It played about a day or two ago, maybe 3. But yeah, they were mentioning that how they use the live stream, and they've seen the eaglets get hatched, grow, and they've been learning, and they love the eagles. And so one of the students, I believe it was, had an idea on like how, or they were wondering on how they could help save the land there. And so they started a fundraiser of their own. And I think this was 2 or 3 days ago. And at that time, they mentioned, I think they had raised about 20 to 50 racks, 20 to 50 stacks, $20 to $50,000. And I was like, whoa. I thought that was, whoa. Hold on. Here we go. Mine was blown. We hit the thunderstorm there. I was like, wow, that's super cool. And I was like, that inspired me to like, all right, maybe we should get involved somehow and do what we can to get the word out that this is going on. And so there is a website. We'll check that out in a bit. And I don't think I pulled anything up on the youngsters. Let's see. Nope. All right. And so I figured, you know what? Let's go live. Let's talk about this. Let's bring awareness to the situation. And let's do our part somehow. So let's try and pull up some information on. Here we go. All right, I got something here, folks. 1 second. Here it is. All right. So it is savemooncamp.org is the only official, because there's a lot of scammers out there, folks. Heads up. Is the only official and legitimate fundraising site for this effort. Again, savemooncamp.org. You got to repeat this stuff because some people may be coming in late. Some people. So savemooncamp.org is the only official and legitimate fundraising site for this effort. And you could see the goal up here. Goal, $10 million at the top right of the corner there. And wow, raised so far, look, $2,615,393 so far. So it's at 26%. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to try to look up some more information here. Maybe I heard about the deadline being July. So I don't know if it's like the 1st of July. I didn't hear a specific date. And we'll have a little read here. It says Jackie and Shadow need all of you to be their heroes. Save Jackie and Shadow's habitat. Moon Camp is a proposed development that is in Jackie and Shadow's foraging area and is less than a mile from their nest. This luxury residential housing project, along with marina slips, assures significant detrimental impact, in quotations, to bald eagles and endangered plant life, according to wildlife experts. Environmental groups, including Friends of Big Bear Valley, FOBBB, have been opposing this development since 2001 and have filed multiple lawsuits on behalf of the bald eagles, San Bernardino, flying squirrels, and the rare ash gray Indian paintbrush. And here is a little tab. Actually, it's a huge tab where you could read the history in case anyone's interested there. And let's see what else this says here. This quiet dark skies community has amazing biodiversity that makes it unique in the world. These species, including Jackie and Shadow, deserve to have their habitat preserved for the long-term benefit of everyone. Sandy Steers, Executive Director of Friends of Big Bear Valley. It says there is hope. San Bernardino Mountains Land Trust, SBMLT, has entered into a limited purchase option agreement to buy the land and to save the eagles foraging area on the undisturbed North Shore for $10 million. The funds need to be raised before July 31st. July 31st. Whoops. Let's do this. July 31st. Excuse me. After the sale, the Moon Camp land will be in permanent conservationship next to the United States Forest Service land. Let's see. Press release here. So there's 3 pages of some sort of press release. Feel free to check that out. How do I go back to where I was? Let's see. Over here. All right. So there is a tab up here. There's a home, story of Moon Camp, contact, in case you need a contact there. And this page is Friends of Big Bear Valley, San Bernardino Mountains Land Trust, and the tab to donate now. So all you big ballers, shot callers, know where to send your stacks to. And yeah, we will be doing this, folks. So hopefully, maybe someone in the chat, someone put a link in the chat for this. Is this are we doing something good here? I don't know. What's up, Moon? Moon at Noon is up in here. What up, Tyler? Brian, hi. How you doing? Is it all overcast over there on the beach, bro? We got that overcast funk lingering. It's been lingering. And I know eventually we're going to creep in. Can't call it June gloom yet. All right. So a little heads up there on the Eagles of Big Bear. Sounds like a good plan to preserve eagle territory. Yeah. And I figured, I was like, you know what? We could, I was like, yeah, well, we could stream the Eagles, bring attention to them. But I was like, what would be cool too? Because, this is a Bigfoot channel. And I was like, well, we've read Bigfoot reports from Big Bear before. And I've talked about my first camping experience without like parents or at least my parents or basically family members was graduating from 6th grade out here in Southern California, and they took us up to Big Bear to camp at Big Bear. It was rad. I had a good time. I was a little shy because there was all these events going on, like different competitions and stuff. People on like what is it, the zip strings or whatever, and people it was interesting, and like it was not only our school, so there's a bunch of different schools, and it was intimidating at the time, right? But I had a blast, and it was a particular vibe up there. And I remember, yeah, sitting on some boulders, there's trees around, some clouds coming in. It was like had October vibes, if I remember correctly. And so yeah, that stuck with me. Uh haven't been back to Big Bear since. And I've heard they've named it Big Bear because of what was the story? We had gotten into that. But it was due to the big grizzly bears that were unique to Southern California. Southern California had grizzly bears, folks. That's why it's on our flag. And salute to William Nighthawk. What's up, bro? Don't fall asleep on us, Nighthawk. We're just getting this started. Sharon, welcome on in. Cheers to you. Yeah, let's pull up some of these comments here. Hey, Amanda. There's Sharon. There's Gustavo. And so, yeah, those vibes, those feelings, yeah, make me want to go back to Big Bear. I'm like, yeah, there's something there. It's probably Bigfoot, huh? Uh, yeah, because I go to squatchy places, we'll call it, and it's just yeah, it reminds me of that feeling. And there's been other places that I've gone to as a youth, like fishing some of these lakes outside of L.A. And I was like, oh, there's that feeling. I've had this feeling before. Usually it's up north somewhere, but yeah, I just love being outdoors. Who doesn't? Whoops, I hit the wrong button there. I thought I hit the mute to try and clear my throat there. Everyone heard it nice and loud. Uh yeah, check it out. So since we're on the topic of eagles, bro decided to share a few things. Let's see. Bro's been on the silver trip. That's why he blessed me with the lucky squatch there. Yeah, keep him nearby me. This is my new charm. He'll be out in the field with me everywhere I go. We'll have to name him. But yeah, bro's been on the silver trip lately, schooling me about different pieces of silver. We're gonna start with this. I would say it's a peso. It's a Mexican peso, but look, Mexico also uses the eagle in their flag, right? It's tearing up a serpent of some sort. Get a little closer. Was I showing it correctly? Was I showing the eagle side? This is the other side of it. And my brother's totally, even before handing these to me, he did a breakdown. He's like, yeah, well, this and that and this. It's like got certain ones that got these what do they call it again? What do you call the coloring? The toning. Yes. This has like this particular one. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it has what they call blueberry toning. You can see it now. The little dark spot starting to show there. Let's see, you can't see it like that, but you kind of not really picking it up. But yeah, it's got these dark areas. Like this one you can see pretty good too. And Carry Fast 8 coming in fast. It's saying silver is a healing metal. I believe it. And so bro was like, "Oh yeah, dude, you could share some of my eagle coins since you're talking about eagles. Eagles is the theme today. I think the eagles of Big Bear are reaching out to me somehow. Are they using telepathy or how are they doing it? They're like, dwarf, go live. I say yes. So I was like, you know what? Let's pull up some Bigfoot reports from Big Bear since that's what we do here. Oh yeah, I'm gonna need a manicure here soon, and I'm not gonna be able to remember all the little descriptions that my brother told me about. He would have been proud of me, but I have been paying attention to what he's been schooling me about with the coins and the silver and stuff. I think this one might be from the old world. This is he was mentioning something about it. I don't know what made him think that. But here's some more with some different style of toning there. We're here to show the Eagles. We're gonna make bro happy and show his some of his silver coin collections. So this one is, let's see. It's got a cool eagle in the back too. Maybe some of you coin collectors are very familiar with what I'm showing here. I just think coins are cool. Couple more. So these are like, I forgot what he said, but these are super shiny. And so yeah, the eagle being like our national bird, right? Of our country and stuff, you would think that like they'd be like super protected. Like, and I believe they are, right? But you think in this situation in Big Bear, I mean, I don't know the all the legalities of it. Obviously there's something going on, but I would think that, it would just be like right away, like, nope, you can't develop here. These eagles got to stay right here. And I know even like picking up eagle feathers, only native peoples can do that, right? Well, what's the deal with that? You can't go around picking up eagle feathers, just anybody. And so the eagle, I believe, is a special bird. Out here, I know there's some places where some of you see eagles like pigeons, like we see pigeons out here. But for us, it's a rare, super rare thing. And even when I would see them up north, it wasn't all the time. And it was always super cool to see them. And what up, Roddy Mad Hatter? Money used to be so much more than currency. Yeah. And currency, yeah. Energy. Hillbilly Herb, there he is. Right on. Boom. I don't know what he's talking about, but yeah, don't feel free to use language just as long as we're not hurting people. Y'all know we're pretty open here about expressing ourselves. So, and let's see, William Nighthawk talking about water purification, water very important. Let's see here. I burned. Carrie Fast burned her arm, but wrapped it in silver lined bandage. Wow. Juliana, what is up? The only stock I have collected is a livestock, she says. Right on. Those machines that make water out of moisture in the air are becoming a hot commodity, says Brian. All right, hillbilly herbs here. That means The chat's gonna feel real nice now. Thank you for coming in, brother Hillbilly. And so yeah, we were just bringing here. Let's pull the birds back up. This is the Eagle stream. So I figured, yeah, maybe read some Bigfoot reports from the Big Bear area. So it's possible we have read them before, but we're gonna choose a few reports from a few different websites, and there is a new report also added to. Let me figure out what I'm gonna do here. Let's get this new report in, and we'll pull up our warning. There's Minxie talking about different metals there. Right on. I got this. I think we've shown that one before. That's from my brother Ricardo. Come on, folks. Have y'all been practicing? We've been practicing rolling our R's here lately. I want to see some R rolling up in the chat. Yeah, my Italian homie actually has a good friend from Mexico who works silver. He's a silversmith, and he had quite a bit of work from this guy. And on one of the last times we worked together, he blessed me with this ring. That and keys to his house in Italy. And he says, "You have a home in Italia." I was like, heck yeah, bro. Love that guy. Much love to you, Ricardo, wherever you are. I know you're probably in the jungles of Mexico somewhere. And so next, let's see, what were we going to do? We were going to do something. So we're going to read some Bigfoot reports out of Big Bear and get into some other Squatchy news. But first, so yeah, we're going to pull up our warning, our disclaimer. We know who runs this website, and we're here just for the information. So what is going on in Ohio again, folks? We're starting to get more Bigfoot reports out of Ohio. We touched on this on the last stream, talking about the two Bigfoot reports added to the BFRO. And it seemed to have been after the Ohio conference that just happened, the Bigfoot Ohio conference. Yeah, I mean, I was even thinking myself, this has got to be like the number one topic at the conference is the Ohio flap, the sightings, the rash, yes, and it's continuing to happen. And so where's our warning here? Warning, we know who runs this website. Here we go. There you have it. And we're going to go ahead and pull up the BFRO and see what is going on there, because there's been another report added, and it's out of Ohio. So what is going on, Ohio? Bigfoot is in town. So let's see here. Where are you? I can't find it. It's here somewhere. It's just like I'm a little thrown off right now. Here it is. Trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. All right, here it is. So we'll go to... Let's go home first. We go home, and we're going to go to reports added recently. And there you have it. Just making sure you could see it on your end there. And so May 2026, Ohio, another Jefferson County. So if you could see down here, the latest reports we have read were out of Jefferson County as well, both being Class B reports. And we also touched on these other two reports that have been recently submitted as well. Let me try and clear my throat this way. Yeah, next best thing to an actual coconut water in a box. And yeah, we know Rastaman, anything in a box is dead, man. Ah, yes, I feel you. All right, so we're gonna get into this new Jefferson County report here. Hopefully, you heard it first here. Oh man. All right, report number 80158, Class B, submitted by witness on Sunday, May 10th, 2026. Let's get our giant pencil out in case we need to take some notes. Spring was the season, 2026, the year, month, May 10th, to be exact, 2026, Ohio, Jefferson County. There's your coordinates in case anyone wants to geek out on that. Nearest town is Bergholtz, Ohio. Nearest road, County Road 53. Observed, my daughter and her family were sitting on the shore of a lake on our property. Their 15-year-old daughter and 9-year-old son were playing in the nearby woods. The boy was hitting an old tree, with his hatchet while they explored. They were called back to sit with their parents before heading to the house. While sitting there, the entire family heard crunching sounds of something large moving through the forest, and then 3 very loud wood knocks. Where's our wood knocker? There we are. Ha! 3 very loud wood knocks coming from the same area where the kids had been playing. According to my son-in-law, the knocks were clunk, 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 and very loud. So power knocks, probably not using its tongue like a lot of people theorize. From their seats, they were unable to see the area due to vegetation, topography, and distance, about 50 yards. They could tell the sound came from the same place/direction as the area the kids had been exploring just minutes before. They determined to pack up and leave immediately. My son-in-law is 6'4" and a big guy who was definitely shaken by the noise, having never heard anything like that before. He was armed and stood watch while the others loaded up the chairs and got ready to leave. He said that it was something louder and more powerful than a tree branch or even a tree falling over. They live on the property and are used to the sounds made in the woods all hours of the day and night. Both have lived in the country their entire lives. My husband and I went to the area to look for tracks and other signs. We found a few possible tracks, but no track line. Lots of deer prints. The ground is soft sand/soil mix and vegetation. We have occasional creek flooding covering the area. There are game trails through the area. It leads to a large, deep creek and into a much deeper wooded area. No one lives in the immediate area. No homes or traffic in the area. Just kidding. It just says no homes or traffic. It is only accessible by privately owned road with locked gates obstructing any trespassers. There was no one else around fishing or on kayaks/canoes in the creek. They all said it was not a beaver hitting the water with its tail. Oh my God, I just seen a crazy YouTube video the other day of a beaver attacking someone and they launched it back in. Oh, anyone see that? That was talk about wild there. So no beaver tails splashing either. There have been other incidents over the 20 plus years we have lived there. 2 other grandsons had small rocks and branches thrown at them when exploring in the woods above their home about 15 years ago. We have heard occasional distant single wood knocks. Yep. Animals in the area include deer, rabbits, bobcats, mountain lion, bear, beaver. We live on 500 acres. Whoa. Can you spare like 40 and a squatch, please? 500 acres of mostly wooded land and are surrounded by more woods, approximately 15 miles from Toronto, Ohio, on a large creek, Yellow Creek, which flows into the Ohio River. There have been other incidents in the area told to us by neighbors and folks living along the creek, including a sighting of a large white/tan creature late last summer. Also noticed they heard a something large moving through the woods. The birds did not become quiet and there was no odor. Also, there have been large tracts of land. Oh, okay. Of tracts of land clear cut in our area recently, which is interesting because to make it short, it seems like it pisses Bigfoot off when there's harvesting of lands and just uh, stuff like that. Doesn't surprise me. All right, let's see. Other witnesses, two adults, one teen, one school age. The kids had been playing in the woods, one of them hitting trees with a hatchet, making noise. So, did he activate the activity? Was Bigfoot responding back to those knocks? Hmm. At the time of the wood knocks, all were sitting lakeside about 50 yards away. So, there's that. Other stories, we live about 15 miles northwest of Toronto, Ohio, where there have been recent howls and knocks. We have heard occasional tree knocks, including one on the right side of a hill and a second answering at least 100 yards to the left. Wow. Nothing this close or loud. Time and conditions 5:30 p.m., sunny, temps about 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And we already got an idea of the environment. Deciduous woods bordered by large creek on west and an 8-acre lake on east. Oh man, major water source in there. I mean, you're like in Bigfoot's home, bro. Wow. There are no homes in the immediate area. Yeah, I would expect activity from a place like this, and super cool that they shared that. I mean, it sounds like a legit report to me. What do you think? All right, there you have it. The latest report added to the BFRO there. And we could hop on over to the Bigfoot mapping project. And let's refresh that right quick. So yeah, nothing's been added to this particular site, but we've been checking out I guess it's the app version of this. And we'll have let's see. Just have a quick zoom out, see if we notice any green dots added here. Nope. All right, so we'll hop on over to this particular site here. And yes, I am logged in this time. Let's see. So we were mentioning pulling up reports out of Big Bear. As our little tribute to the Eagles there. Let's see, where are we? There's Vegas. So excuse me for a second. In Bakersfield, there's Indio. So it's going to be somewhere up here. Ridgecrest. Where are you? Here you are. There is Big Bear Lake. You can see Big Bear City here. There's Fawn Skin. I always they bring it up in the weather out here, like our local Los Angeles weather. So they'll bring up Big Bear sometimes, I always laugh when they bring up Fawn Skin. But yeah, there's a couple reports here, so we could take a look at that one. This one being the closest to the actual Big Bear Lake. And who remembers what part of the shore did they say the eagles are on the north shore? So where would that be? Would that be over on the Fawn Skin side of things? I don't know. But we have a report here, and it's quite extensive. So we'll get into some of this, and I mean, if it's really good, because look at this, there's a bunch of additional data here, which is great. But who knows? That's going to be a lot of reading. But let's get into this top part of the report here. And here are your coordinates. And look at that. You could copy, paste. And over on this side, again, I've been diving more into this. You could also look, you could heart locations or reports. So up here, look, there's a little heart. And I guess it'll save it over here. Recent saved reports. I think that's super cool. You could also copy the coordinates there. There's the date, 1989. So this is a bit of a throwback. Distance to water. There's all your little different databases, data points. Even the moon phase. So let's see here. Description. It says, as I reached the spot when I saw the creature, I saw he was no longer there. I walked really fast to get into my house and locked the door. I did not feel safe, though. I took my clothes off and put them in the wash machine because of the mess I had made on myself. While I was showering, I kept the bathroom door open in case I heard a noise. When I went to bed that night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking this thing was going to hurt me or my children. The next day, I told my kids they were not allowed outside until the weekend. I told them I had seen a bear and was afraid for their safety. In reality, I wanted to take them to church on Sunday to get them blessed by our priest to keep them safe from what I thought was a demon. When I got to work, I told my friend Jane that I worked with what I seen last night. She told me I saw a Sasquatch. I told her I didn't know what that was. I had never heard that word before. She told me it was a Bigfoot. As I recall, I laughed in her face. So I don't know. It gets into that. And then there's all this additional stuff. So over here, let's get into some of this. It says, I thought I was looking at a demon. There was a known group of Satanists up there at the time. And that's important. I was going to bring something else. I was listening to some stuff yesterday, folks, and it was wild and cray. And that whole topic came up, and I was actually going to mention some of that. But yeah, we have heard of these types of groups, even being up in these mountains right back here. We've talked about the little chat we had with CHP before pulling into a particular campground. And we got it straight from his mouth. Yeah, there's been that type of activity up that way. So yeah, and it's nothing new. And we know Hollywood, I mean, it's just right here. So you could only imagine what's going on in the rest of the mountains around these areas. And not only here, too. I was just listening about some stuff in Tennessee. Also, I was like, ooh. So yeah, there was a known group of Satanists up there at the time known as the Goatmen. Yeah, I never heard of them. I thought this creature had been conjured up by this group. And that's interesting because we have questioned that before, if these groups are out there doing stuff like that. And maybe that's why there's cryptid sightings and activity in certain places. It says, I had left my two small children asleep and alone in the house. All I kept thinking was that this thing would kill me and my kids would find my dead body in the morning. If at all, I started to pray to God to spare my life. I reminded God how much my kids needed me, especially because they were so young. I had to tell myself that I needed to move and unfreeze. There was absolutely no sound whatsoever or anything. Before I could unfreeze, I took my flashlight and tried to get a better look at the creature. I moved the flashlight back and forth at its face to see if it could get it to go away. But it didn't work. All it did was move it a little bit side to side as it started at me, or it stared at me, sorry. There are no street lights in Big Bear at all, but with the moon, I was able to make out the shape of the creature, but not its face, or not his face. See if I could zoom this out a little bit more. There we go. Uh-oh. Whoops. Yeah, the letters are a little small. There we go. So the more I looked at his eyes, the more scared I became. So this is getting good. I'm gonna keep reading here. What do y'all think? It got me. I'm interested in finding out more. So this is all happening in Big Bear, and it sounds like I would imagine a woman, right? It sounds like a woman and her kids. So the more I looked at his face or his eyes, sorry, the more scared I became. I was afraid it would try to hypnotize me or something. Don't forget, I thought it was a demon at this time or at the time. When I unfroze myself, I decided to continue towards the mailboxes instead of going home. I didn't want it to know where I lived. I didn't want to lead this thing back to my kids because there was no sound whatsoever. I thought if I just continue to the mailboxes, I would be able to hear it behind me if it came for me. I remember not being able to breathe very well because of how scared I was. All the hair on my body was standing straight up, especially on my neck. I kept praying as I was walking because I wanted God to please protect me and my children. I thought it was going to hurt someone. It had to be me and not my children. So I thought if it had to, so I think there's a little bit of misspelling of I thought if it was going to hurt someone, no, I just misread it. It had to be me and not my children. I eventually got to the mailboxes, got to my mail. I walked back home knowing that the creature could still be there on my right hand side now. I didn't hear anything when I was walking. Now I got to zoom back out to be able to scroll up. Okay. The hell? Got a video playing back here with Yosemite. It's beautiful in the background, but got some sad music playing. I don't want to hear that. We need some like action packed thriller music here. So let's see if we could scoot this over a little bit. Can we? There we go. Oh, darn it. So let's see. Where did we leave off? I think it might have been up here. So I believe this is the part we read. So I think the third part is the first part we read. And give me 1 second. Let's see. My brother took off. I got somebody in here. All right, thank you. All right. Somebody tripping out on. He's like, oh wow. He started asking me about what I was doing and da da da. He dropped off a sample product, and I don't know. My brother just took off, so we're on duty here now, folks. So yeah, this third part is, I believe, the part we first read. So I'll go ahead. I'll read it again. Let's see. So it says, as I reached the spot where I saw the creature, I saw he was no longer there. I walked really fast to get into my house and locked the door. I did not feel safe though. I took my clothes off and put them in the washing machine or in the wash machine because of the mess I had made on myself. So it continued on there. We did read that. She thought it was a demon. And the fourth and final part here. So I really thought she was nuts. So she had laughed in her friend's face. She told me of the experiences she and her husband had previously had with them during the years they had lived on Big Bear or in Big Bear. She also told me, let's see, how the men who do the snowboarding on the mountain will not go alone because of the Bigfoot issue. Yeah, I never heard of that. I still didn't believe her. I did, however, ask an officer from Wildlife Fish and Game if there was anything that could explain what I saw. He told me I saw a bear. Yeah, we hear that a lot, right? I told him that it was not a bear. He blew me off. This still pisses me off to this day. If I had been told a long time ago that Bigfoot existed, I wouldn't have had 10 long years of sleepless nights thinking a demon could come and get me at any time. Well, we still don't know if they're demons or not. I question it. It took 10 years for me to realize that Bigfoots do exist after reading an article in a newspaper about someone else's experience. That's when I knew my friend Jane was telling me the truth all that time ago. I felt so stupid for not knowing the truth. I wasted a lot of time being scared. Whoa. All right. We made it through that one. I stumbled a little bit here and there, but I think we got the point of it. What up? What up, Bino? And Andy, Alienate UK, been trying to get a hold of me. I'm not hard to get a hold of, brother. And let's see, Bino, what did you change? Are you in a new channel or something? BD, I hope you had what license for that pencil? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got a license. So I don't know. I'm a little confused. Bino, is that a new name or do we have a new Bino here? I know one Bino. Are you the same Bino? I don't know. So watch over here. I did pull up some other reports using some other sites. Interestingly, Jeremiah's website really didn't have anything in the immediate area. There you can see Big Bear Lake, fawn skin there. But over in Crestline, which we know that's where I believe Claudia Ackley lived when she was in Cali. There's several reports there. Let's see. There's a view through this map. But let's see. We do have another Big Bear report here off of BigfootEncounters.com. I'll go ahead and read this one also. All right. San Bernardino County, California, Big Bear Lake. Hey, what's up, bro? Someone came by. He said he'll be back on Wednesday, and he left the sample right here. I'll take it over to you. Big Bear Lake, February 1986. So this is another 80s. I think that last one was 89, right? This is 86. 1:30 a.m. Big Bear Lake off Highway 18, mountain terrain, 6,500 feet. We were in Big Bear and we were up there for a skiing trip. We arrived late Friday night on the weekend of February 15th, 1986. I started to snow after we got there, and being from the city, we went outside to play in it. There were five of us, two friends of mine, and my two brothers. We were throwing snowballs and having fun when somebody noticed that there was somebody, in quotations, watching us on the road. There was a person, in quotations also, or something standing there quietly. It looked like a tall man in thick winter type clothes. It was dark, so it was all black against the snow on the road, but it was heavy looking. It was at least 6 feet tall, maybe taller. It was heavy looking and all one color. At this point, none of us were playing anymore. We started to get scared. We were frozen. Interesting, they're using some of the same wording also, like frozen. We were well, it was snowing, or there was snow. We were frozen looking at this thing, and I yelled, "Hey, who is standing there?" Or something like that. I didn't get any response at let's see, at all. Then I yelled, "If you're human, say something." And still no response. So then we got really scared. We continued to stand there for a split second, and then we took off back around to our cottage/room. You can call me if you want to for more details, okay? Let's see here. So I could probably tell the story better than I can type it. Yeah. The date is accurate because it was my youngest brother's birthday weekend. I have read many reports from this area on the internet. I also know a person that used to look for evidence in the 70s and 80s, and he told me some interesting stories from our local mountain ranges here in Southern California. So that's about it there. And that's Todd A. Hale. And you can see, uh-oh. I won't go any further just to not cause any more warning. I got to put my warning up for that one too. We know who was involved in this report. Oh gosh, man, the Bigfoot Wars 2026 still happening. The UFO man, UFO community or whatever you want to call it is just really off its rockers lately. And we'll just leave that at that. Over here at Bigfoot Report database, I was able to pull up several reports. And Juliana, if you're still in here, so they're like, you can see even some of Claudia's reports. And I know, again, disclaimer and warning on this one. I got to do that with everybody I name. That's just how it is in the Bigfoot arena. But down here, I did notice one big bear. Look at this. Witness recounts terrifying encounter with wolf-like creature in Big Bear, California. And I know some of you have been liking the werewolf dogman type reports. So I'll go ahead and throw in this one as well, since we're covering Big Bear. And again, we're doing this for the eaglets. And sorry, I've been stumbling. I'm doing my best to read here. Not the best reader. Should give it a shot. Oh, man. All right. Overview of the encounter. The witness is a house cleaner whose husband worked in a warehouse that delivered furniture. They would frequently visit a house owned by a wealthy family in Big Bear for family outings. Date is unknown, year 1994, Big Bear, California. Land managed by private property, nearest town, Big Bear Lake, San Bernardino County, California. Nearest landmark, Big Bear Lake. So, witness accounts in the summer of 1994. A witness recounts a frightening encounter at a 3-story house in Big Bear, California. The witness, a house cleaner who frequently visited the property with her family, noticed that her daughter was scared after allegedly seeing a large dog outside. The daughter described it as a scary dog that growled at her through the window. Hmm. Concerned, the witness went outside to investigate. Upon sliding open the door to the deck, she was immediately hit with a strong, unpleasant odor that resembled sulfur or urine. She noticed the deck was wet despite no rain having fallen recently and spotted large paw like footprints on the deck. The footprints were large and longer than a typical dog's and were spaced in a manner that suggested the creature walked on 2 legs rather than 4. Grabbing a flashlight, the witness followed the prints, which led her down the steps to the front of the house where they abruptly stopped. As she was examining the area, she noticed movement above her and directed her flashlight towards the roof. To her shock, she saw a large creature resembling a wolf or large dog sitting on the shingles. The witness described it as having a German Shepherd like face, but much larger, with sharp, upright ears and glowing yellow eyes. The creature growled at her, and in a moment of panic, the witness began waving her arms, attempting to scare it away. The creature stood on its hind legs, towering over her and displaying its teeth, which were barred. It had a broad, muscular chest, but appeared to have patches of fur missing, showing red skin underneath, almost as if it had mange. Feeling terrified, the witness stumbled backwards, fell, and dropped her flashlight. As she scrambled to stand, the creature leaped over her, demonstrating an impressive jump of approximately 10 to 15 feet before running into the forest. The witness hurried back inside, locking the door behind her. Upon returning upstairs, she found her daughter asking if the scary dog was gone. The encounter left the witness shaken, and even years later, she spoke of the event with fear and disbelief, reinforcing her conviction that what she encountered was real. Later in the discussion, the witness shared another unsettling experience involving a different sighting of a similar creature in a neighborhood close to the mountains. During a winter evening walk with her dog, she noticed one of her dogs acting strangely, looking back at something. It led her to spot a large creature peeking from behind a van. Initially thinking it was a lost dog, she called it over, but it growled in response. The creature slowly revealed itself, towering at least 8 feet tall, with a body reminiscent of a man and the head of a wolf. It approached in a stealthy manner, maintaining an intimidating presence. The witness described being frozen in fear as it advanced, its eyes glowing and foam dripping from its mouth. See, this don't sound like a nice dog man to me. And I know a lot of people have been talking about these things not, you know, being nice and wanting to pet that dog. I don't know. As her dog reacted with panic, the witness prepared to defend herself with a stun gun. Hey, something. At least she got that. Zap his ass or something. But the creature continued its slow approach, seemingly undeterred. At that moment, headlights from a passing vehicle illuminated the area, possibly providing a distraction that averted a more dangerous confrontation. The transcript concludes with the witness expressing her lingering confusion and fear regarding the encounters, illustrating how these experiences have left a lasting impact on her life. The accounts highlight a recurring theme of a large dog like creature exhibiting behaviors and characteristics that deviate from typical wildlife, contributing to the lore surrounding similar sightings in the region. Wow, that's interesting. All right, let's see. What's up, chat? Everyone fall asleep to my bad reading? Chat's all stuck right there. And we have another site here, OregonBigfoot.com. Yeah, you best believe we found a report out of a Big Bear. See, a lot going on in Big Bear. What's up, Big Bear? Come reach your boy. Come get at me and share your strange encounters. I'm sure there's all sorts of other stuff happening up there. And this is Bigfoot. Let's see, OregonBigfoot.com, file number 1949. Let's make sure you can see it there. Holy smokes, have we been on for an hour already? All right, report file number 1949, report overview, date November 11th, 2006, San Bernardino County, California, nearest town, Big Bear, nearest road, 710, conditions, cold, cloudy. Time, pre-dawn, dark hours. Location, report detailed description of event. Me and my family were at Big Bear for the weekend in the woods. It was about 9 p.m. and we were going to take a shower in the nearby bathroom / shower. I told my wife that me and my son are going to take a shower. As we walked to the shower, we heard a deep breathing sound coming from a tree. There was no one there but me and my son. I got my flashlight, and I think all these reports, they had flashlights in them, if I'm not mistaken. I'm putting that in the notes, flashlight reports. Let's see. There was no one there but me and my son. I got my flashlight and shined it where I hear the sound. When I did, a large body about 7 feet tall and hair all over its body walked away fast. Me and my son ran back to our RV. Wow. That seemed, I don't know, like a legit report to me. Oh, man. All right. And then hopping on over to, what is it, the Project Darkwood cryptid map. Also not much popping up for the immediate area of Big Bear, but looks like a little southwest of there is a paw print there. So there's another Dogman report, it seems like. So anyone interested? So Dogman mistaken for Bigfoot. You can check that out. I won't bore you with that read as we're focusing on Big Bear and the eaglets. All right. So you got a fresh new Bigfoot report there off the BFRO. We got some Big Bear reports, a couple of Sasquatch sounding ones, and then one more of a dogman sounding type or werewolf. I know some of you have mentioned I think is there a difference? I mean, yeah, I guess you could get into the technicalities. I know some of you do out there, but to me, if I see a werewolf or a dogman, it's gonna register both as the same thing, danger. Oh man. All right. So let's hop on back really quick to the nest. And let's see, I do have a couple of there was a news reel that seemed pretty interesting. I do like historical reports. So I'll pull up this news reel here really quick. Let's see. Where'd you go? There you are. All right. So this is the Dunlac Eagle. And so 50 years later, Harewood Park Bigfoot legends are revisited. So you can have a listen to this. I believe it's like 5 minutes or so. And I'll be checking this out because I do like historical reports from small towns. And that's why, I love STM because they get out there, document these things. And I know some of you others get out there too. And there is quite a bit of a read on this too. So I won't do that. But check this out. I'll be checking this out after. And yeah, I don't know exactly where this is. Someone know? Harewood Park. Anyone know of these Bigfoot legends from there? It's definitely got my interest, and I'll be diving into this. And maybe we'll bring it up if I find something really good. Maybe we'll bring it up on the next stream. Just some other Bigfoot related stuff there. And yeah, so we're gonna really quick. We gotta. Where are you? There we go. Again, we are open today, folks. And I don't know, got any shows going on this weekend or anything? Hip hop show tomorrow here at the Catalyst next door. If there's a flyer, I'll probably share that in the posts. But if you're in the area, like yourself some hip hop, maybe come on through. Yeah, I don't know the exact details, but yeah, we got something going on this weekend here. And again, feel free to send in your emails, folks, especially, hey, if you're in the Big Bear area, we'd love to hear more. And anywhere you may be for that matter, we want to hear what you got, your experiences. Let's talk about it live. I do have a guest also set up still. Just got to reschedule. And yeah, we got to make it at a decent hour so it works out for him, works out for everyone. And so stay tuned for that. And again, y'all be safe out there, folks. Be aware. It's a lot of a lot of craziness happening. I'll just say it like that. We won't even dive into it. Some of you already know, and it sucks because I would love to talk more about it, but I guess you can't. And luckily, I have my brother who I could talk to, and yeah, I don't feel I could talk to anyone out there. Can't trust anyone. And but I'm watching, I'm listening, and I'm sticking to my lane as much as possible, staying focused on my thing, but yet staying aware, watching, listening. And y'all should do the same. I don't like to tell people what to do, but man, just yeah, be safe out there, folks. All right, let me see. I'm gonna jump in the chat right quick before we head out. I'm 2,000 miles away, dwarf. Can't make it. Sorry, says Mikey. No worries, man. And Bino sharing some. Oh, Tanzi, sweet. Good to see you, Elder Medicine Bear Claw. And I'm just gonna scan through here just in case. A shout out to Elder Medicine Bear Claw. The last stream, right when I ended it, I seen they shared some love, and so did Poncho Zorch. Yeah, I seen it, Poncho. So don't feel like I missed you. Poncho Zorch to the office. Gotta call Zorcho into the office. And so, yeah, again, this stream hopefully will bring a little more awareness to the Big Bear Eagles. Salute to you, Diesel. Thank you for tapping in. And hopefully you enjoyed the stream. Yeah, Big Bear. Got to put that in our notes. Tell bro, take us up there. Can we get a weekend off and go squatch Big Bear? All right, y'all. One love. We're gonna stop the share there. We're gonna bust out our outro. Boom. Catch y'all on the rebound.